Hey guys, welcome back to another RTR. On this RTR, we're going to take a look at a game I never thought I would be reviewing, especially because it's a sports title, and I never really got that excited about sports games on the NES. I just felt like they never really looked that great, and they didn't really control that well. But I had Lucas Wagner come over, and you can take a look at his channel down in the description below, and he's been requesting this game for a few weeks now. So I thought, let's take a look at it, see what you're all excited about. And that game is a 1990 release called Nintendo World Cup. So this is a soccer game for the NES. And the very first thing that I noticed when we started the game up is that it looked very similar to games like River City Ransom or Super Dodgeball. It had the same character design, which made the game very familiar to me. And actually, I really enjoy that type of look of characters, kind of cartoony and stocky. So I definitely enjoyed that part. But the really big part of this game is just the ability to play co-op. You're not going to be really enjoying this game all by yourself. I'm sure there are some people, but this is a game you definitely want to play with people. It supports the 4 score, so you can have up to 4 players on this, and I can't imagine what that would be like because we played against each other, and that was really exciting in itself. It's very competitive, and it's just hilarious. So some of the things that I really liked about this game is the ability to customize it. You're not just playing on turf and running around. You can actually choose to play on concrete, or you can choose to play on ice. So it really changed the game feel depending on what field you were playing on. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this game is the team ability to have certain power-ups. So I played as the country Argentina for a little bit, and they have a power-up where if you set a player up and kind of bicycle kicks it, it ends up like zigzagging all the way to the goal. So it was really cool to see the different countries and their power-ups and which ones were more effective than others. So that was definitely a really enjoyable part as well. Something that I found absolutely hilarious was as players were getting slide tackled, and too many times they end up just laying on the ground like they're dead or tired. It was kind of strange at first, then it started becoming really funny because they don't just get up, they just stay there, and you're running back and forth, and especially towards the end of the game where there are more players on the ground than are actually playing, so you end up playing with just like 2 players left on the field running back and forth. It makes the game more competitive, more exciting, and definitely really enjoyable, especially with other people. So those were some things that I really liked about this game. Now there are a couple things that I just wasn't a big fan of. The first thing was just the overall design. I like the character design, but the overall design was very basic. And yeah, it's a 1990 release on the NES. There wasn't a lot of flash back then. But it was just a very basic look, so it kind of got old after a while. And then another thing that I'm always big on is the soundtrack and music, and the music just wasn't impressive whatsoever. It's very repetitive. It never changes from, I'm pretty sure, from the menu to the match to the end of the game. It doesn't really capture you. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. So it's definitely forgettable and definitely annoying if you're playing it for a long period of time. So the game isn't really expensive. I've seen it out from $3 to $6 typically, and there are 2 different formats. You can have just the game by itself, but it also comes in a 2-in-1 cart like I have with Super Spike Volleyball. But it is a very common game. You can find it out pretty much anywhere you go looking for games, and it's definitely worth the pickup though. I'm not gonna say it's just a cheap game and you should avoid it. It's if you're looking to play a game with people, which that's basically what the NES was all about, is to get people together and play games together. I think it's definitely worth picking up. As far as rating goes, I'm gonna give it a 3 card out of 5. which I think is really fair to this game. If they had a little bit more visual presence and a different soundtrack, it definitely would be a higher ranked game. But overall, it's very enjoyable, a lot of laughs, brings out the competitive spirit in everybody. Definitely worth the pickup. So if you ever see it and you don't have it, spend the $3, grab that game. So that's all I had for you guys on this RTR, just a really quick review as always. Make sure you check me out on Instagram and Twitter, and also make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That always helps me out. And that's all I have for you guys. I'll catch you later. Bye.